before they come in.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I want to call the Lake Quinsigamond Commission meeting of May 29th, 2024 to order. Thank you for coming. We don't have a quorum, so there's not much action we can take on things tonight. So we're going to kind of skip through all the rigmarole that we would typically vote on. I can tell you that the meeting is being recorded, so we'll have, you'll be able to watch this on TV. You folks at home will also be able to review it again if you'd like. Number 3 in the review and act, I'm going to skip over that. Review of approval of bills. We don't have any anyway, but there's nothing there. Did anyone sign up for public participation?
Not that,
It's Marguerite Cormier. Oh, that's
We have our usual Scott Gorey. I don't think he's here, but that's,
Scott's not here.
no, I don't think anyone for public participation, but we do have a presentation when we get to the Watershed Association.
Okay, fine. Commissioners' reports. I will start off with Mr. Piker.
Well, just a few observations. The clarity of the water seems actually fairly good in terms of the visual, how far you can see down. The lake on average has been up there, maybe even a little higher than normal. I don't know if anybody here can give us any update, but about a week ago it was observed that there was a pontoon boat on Drake Island and that the two adult eagles were circling around the tree where the nest was, and I was thinking that maybe they were banding the eaglets again. Does anybody here know of as to whether that in fact happened? Nobody here. Okay, but I suspect they were. Other than that, from what I hear, there's seems to be compliance, at least in terms of a major way, in terms of the no-wake buoys that are placed around Kings Point. That's a good thing to hear. It's not a perfect world, but I understand it's people are fairly compliant in terms of recognizing that as a narrow way and not going quickly through there. I believe as of this past weekend that the spring rowing season is over. So that means that on Saturday and Sundays from here on out, so to speak, for the rest of the good weather months, that the ramp will be busy with pleasure boats, and there'll be probably significant more activity on the lake in that regard. Other than that, Mr. Chair, that's all I have to in mind at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Polito.
Who are you gonna?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sergeant Bradley.
We've had a busy couple of weeks so far. This past Sunday in particular, Memorial Day weekend, on Sunday we had a lake task force, which incorporated Shrewsbury PD, Worcester PD, and 5 or 6 environmental police officers as well, all on the lake at the same time to try and strictly enforce lake rules. For that particular day, I have Shrewsbury stats. We assisted 1 disabled boat. We had 11 vessel stops. We had 4 trespassers on Eagle Island. We had 5 swimmers out of swim zone. We towed away 1 boat or trailer. 3 liquor open container violations. 4 were denied entry or removed from the lake. 3 bylaw violations at Oak Island. 31 vessel safety checks. 8 citations issued, 2 to boats, 6 to jet skis. 7 were for negligent operation in wake zones, and then 1 for unregistered. Aside from that particular day, we've had a very busy May so far. Just summarizing, going through these stats, we have 24 boat stops, similar to car stops, where we stop them, we issue them citations. We have 13 citations issued so far, 5 unregistered boats, 9 unregistered trailers, 15 either kicked off the lake or denied entry completely at the ramps, 39 vessel safety checks, 3 bylaw violations. We've only had 1 noise complaint, 1 jet ski complaint, so if you do have any complaints, definitely call the station. Let us know if there's a certain area where you see a jet skier acting negligently at that moment. We can go to the area of the lake, but if our boat operator doesn't see it, then it's tough for us to address it at that time. So I just want to let everybody know, just to call us or call Worcester. Let us know if you see something in the moment, so we can go to that part of the lake. Aside from that, yeah, we've been pretty busy.
Question?
Yep.
So, Mr. Chair? Well, I'd like to know the differentiation between a security check, which there was 28 this past month, and a vessel safety check.
So security checks are just checks of certain areas, such as like the Route 9 bridge. We look under the Route 9 bridge, look for any trespassers under there, or of Eagle Island, looking for trespassers on there. A vessel safety check is a safety check of a particular boat. Look, make sure they got a whistle, make sure they got the, a fire extinguisher, those types of things, whether it's at the ramp or we stop them and check them.
Thank you.
Okay, so this first page, that was one day?
That was one day. That was May 26th, Sunday. It was the task force day. Yep.
Okay, and that was,
That was just Shrewsbury stats.
okay, and these numbers on the second page include these numbers on the first page?
Yes, so this is the entirety of May
Okay,
that we've
okay,
got there. Yep.
just wanted to make
Yep.
sure there was, all right, so, it looks like you've been busy. Officer Charlin, I want to thank you for, all the stuff you do down there, and, I think that, for anyone at home or out there on Facebook that doesn't think anything is being done, this is part of what's being done. And this is Shrewsbury's numbers, and I know Worcester has some things as well. So it's a good thing. Worcester's boat they do have a boat on Flint Pond now, so that was out patrolling on the 26th. I didn't see him stopping anybody, but I wasn't totally paying attention to every move that they made out there. But it was a nice thing to do, and the jet ski traffic was kind of tamped down. So that was nice. There was still some Oak Island violations over there. Just people swimming and
Yeah.
hanging out.
Yep.
And, I'm pretty sure that the switching riders and stuff like that at that beach and at the boat ramp. So
Yeah.
on Oak Island. So there was that. But as Sergeant Bradley said, you see something or hear something or something's off, call, because that's what we need. We need your help to do this kind of stuff. Even if there's 4 boats on that lake, say, doing their job, it's impossible to cover everything at one time. So if someone's doing something in a different area that none of the boats are at, and you see it or have concerns about it, then certainly call up and let them know. And sometimes you'll get to it because the people who are doing things, illegal things on the lake, especially. That's where they're going to go. They're going to go to some place where no one's bothering them to do whatever they want to do. So if you see somebody over there because there's no patrol at the time, then certainly call in and let everybody know. I particularly like the fact that we're stopping people from coming into the lake, because that's really, the prevention's worth a pound of cure. So if we can stop them at that point, so for whatever reason, the thing's not registered or there's a warrant or whatever it is that they causes them not to go on there. They don't have the regular equipment on the vessel. That is just one violator you don't have to chase down. So it's a good thing. So I think that's a great thing. Also, thank you for this information. Thank you for the reports.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly what we need to do.
Yeah, Officer Charlin put all this together. He's going to try and continue it every month, so I can bring it in.
All right, that'd be
Can I
great.
ask a question
Sure.
of Sergeant Bradley? Now, these are Shrewsbury,
Just Shrewsbury stats.
so Worcester may have,
Have much more stats. Environmental had a ton on Sunday as well.
All right.
okay, so there's quite a few just
Yeah.
on the part of Shrewsbury. So
Right.
we don't even have the stats from Worcester as well as the environmental police. So there had to be a lot of activity out there in terms of enforcement.
The open container, is that on the vessel or is that on land or
This particular stat was, I think that was Oak Island.
Oak Island?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, and then someone had said something about Eagle Island, and there's supposedly some people over there. It looks like they're.
Yeah, they were kicked off. Yeah.
Yeah, so, that's good. All right, thank you so much. Now, Mr. Polito,
Okay,
sorry.
I have one thing. The Nipmuc community is going to be conducting a machoon burning demonstration over at the conservation land on Oak Island. This will start on June 1st. You can view this activity from around noontime to 6. This demonstration will probably take about a week. And a Machoon is a dugout canoe, and the burning is a way that the craftsmen hollow it out and make a traditional dugout canoe. So it'll be something very, very, very neat to see. That's it.
Is that it?
Yep.
So, this is a really cool thing. As a lot of you know, probably, that we actually have Machoons that were used back in the, we carbon dated them back to the 1600s. And they're resting on the bottom of the lake. So we have a rich history of the use of the lake, and a documented history of the use of the lake actually there. So the reason that the Machoons, they didn't sink, well, they did sink, but they sunk on purpose because how they winterized these boats, which was brilliant. We all winterize our boats, right, in the wintertime or the off-season. So what they would do is they'd fill the Machoons up with rocks and sink them so they wouldn't dry out, and keep them nice and fresh, and then they went back and would take them up in the spring. Now, the shoreline of the lake has changed a little bit since the 1600s, because these are a little further offshore than you would think, and deeper than you would think. And I don't know how the Nipmunks, if they were like pearl divers and could hold their breath a long time and get the rocks out, but they're pretty far down. We're using divers now to go down there and check on them. So, very cool thing that we have that here. And it's a cool thing that they're doing this demonstration. So if you get a chance, go to Oak Island and take a look at what they're doing. It's going to be this is the kind of thing that we'd like to see at Oak Island. Obviously not Machoon burning all the time, but these kind of activities that are educational and meaningful to the history of the lake. So it's a great thing. I really thank the Conservation Commission for allowing that to happen down there at this property. So that's a great thing. I will ask for everyone's respect. The 6 o'clock kind of deadline thing is that the Nipmunks kind of go into some ceremonial things that they do. So that's kind of a private time, if you will. There's going to be a chiefess on site. There'll be people around the clock at the site. I live on Flint Pond, but if anyone's worried about that, they assured me they will not be using the tom-toms all night. So there shouldn't be a lot of noise coming from there, but there will be a fire. You'll probably be able to see that. And Ken was right with how he described the thing. They burn the inside of it out, create an ash, and they dig the ash out. And that's how they create the actual cockpit of the Machoon. So very cool thing to happen. I'm glad that they finally did it over here. So that's that. Also, I believe on the weekend, or the first or second, we have two volunteers that are going down to Oak Island. Forgive me, Tom, because I forgot your son's first names. But the Lagruda boys are going to go down and clean up around the island a little bit to kind of, make that as neat and pretty as possible. So that's a good thing, and thank you for doing that. That's an awesome thing. Also, I'm going to also say this about the Nipmunks. They have a permit under the State Archaeology Division that anything on the bottom of Lake Quinsigamond is technically their right of refusal, whether they want it or not want it. They have asked that if we find something or we have something already in possession, that you reveal it to them. They don't want to take it. They're not going to keep the thing. They just want to know what it is and kind of document what it is. So if you have an old arrowhead or some bottles or something that's kind of historic, and there's a lot of treasure on the bottom of Lake Quinsigamond they probably don't care about. They don't have to bring in. But if you find a new an Apple Watch or something, they probably don't care about that. But if you find something that looks kind of old or antiquated, you can let them review it, let them document the thing and move on. But when you're out there, bear that in mind. If you find something on the bottom of the Lake Quinsigamond, it's technically belongs to the Nipmucks. So, under their permit. They will also be doing a paddle. I'm going to give you a heads up on this. They're going to do a canoe paddle on Saturday the 8th, I believe. And that's going to involve, they may or may not use the machine that they're burning now. If it's ready, they'll do it. If it's not, they probably will not do it, but they're going to have canoes out there, and they're going to do a paddle, and they're going to paddle to the sites that the machines are. There's 2 sites on the lake, and they're going to paddle to the sites that the machines are where they exist right now. So I think there's 3 of them in total under the lake, on the lake bottom. So again, historic, it's cool. It shows that there was civilization here, and people were using the lake and living here way back then. So it's kind of a nice connection to have, and not too many lakes that I know of can claim that. So, good thing. All right, and also on my report is that I got this is a pretty preliminary, but there was an additional earmark from the state that was ushered in by Senator Michael Moore. And essentially, it was a $50,000 earmark to help supplement, this may be the first time you guys are hearing this, but supplement some resources for law enforcement. So specifically probably for overtime pay. So that's a good thing, more resources for law enforcement, and that's always good to hear. So I'm glad that's going to be going down. It'll probably be administered by the Massachusetts Environmental Police, but I'm not sure where the details are. So as we get more details on how they're going to split up the loot, we'll let you know as much as we can, at least. That's it, I think, for my reports at this point. Number 7 is discuss dock park placement at 5 Water Street. The proponent of this, the person who has to be on the agenda, has he would prefer this. When we talked about this, we didn't have enough time to put it on the agenda as a hearing because we needed more time to post it. But he asked he'd rather wait till we can put it on as a hearing. So that will probably happen either in June or July, depending on how we, how much work we can get done. Right now, we have. On the lake management side of things, we have so much stuff that we have to get done. All 4 of our permits through the communities are expiring, except for Shrewsbury. I don't think Shrewsbury actually is expiring this year. 3 of the 4 of the permits we have are expiring this year. So we're basically going to go back and redo our lake management plan and our vegetation maps and whatnot, so we can present that all to the state and all 3 communities. My hope or wish would be that we have all the permits going in the same time track. I don't know if we can pull that off, but that would be nice, so we don't keep. It always seems like that's we figure out later on when it's almost too late that one of the permits is expiring and needs to be extended. All of the conservation commissions have been extremely cooperative and helpful, getting us through those tough times. But I'd rather not. That's not the way I really want to do it. We also have to send out for bids to do treatments. I'm sure some of you have noticed that the plants are up and they're pretty robust in the areas that they're growing in. So we want to get on board there too. And there's also another earmark from the state for $40,000 that goes to the Lake Quinsigamond Commission to administer to deal with vegetation and other environmental issues on the lake. So that's something else we have to wrestle down. The town of Shrewsbury at town meeting voted to appropriate. They voted to appropriate $35,000. I think. I don't know if all of that's coming to Lake Quinsigamond because there's kind of a. I don't want to get in trouble with copyright with with Katie back there, but they kind of had their own little lakes and ponds program going on in Shrewsbury, which is a great thing. And so some of the money's going to go to Dean Park and Old Mill Pond and Jordan Pond and Newton Pond. So, but we're going to get a big chunk of it, and that's also a good thing. So there's a lot of stuff happening, and a lot of stuff we have to, that's kind of out there that needs to be pulled in. So it's going to be a busy next couple of months. And I think that's, any questions about any of that? All right, perfect. And now we have an update from Katie Liming of Worcester Lakes and Ponds. You're back there, right, Katie? I am.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Katie Liming. I'm the Lakes and Ponds Coordinator for the City of Worcester. So as was mentioned previously, there's the permits for Grafton and Worcester are expiring in September. So we'll be taking care of extending those as soon as we're able to request it, at least for Worcester, starting in June. And we'll work with the conservation commissions to work on those permit extensions. And then the Lakes and Ponds program will also be supporting the commission in developing bid assistance and providing project coordination for management efforts previously mentioned, as well as the upcoming re-envisioning of the lake management plan under natural heritage. So I think that was already mentioned. Other updates are relatively minor. The Lakes and Ponds program is back sampling at multiple locations in Quinsigamond, total of 4 times each month. So this first month things looked generally pretty good. We didn't see any results that had any cause for concern so far, which is excellent. The Cyanobacteria Monitoring Collaborative is also starting up again, and so we have a team sampling at Flint Pond off of the boat ramp, and then the Lagruda family, who's a member here, is sampling close to their own property, close to Kings Point, and then at Regatta Point as well. And we also have volunteers for Jordan Pond and Newton Pond. And finally, Mass Wildlife, I believe, is sponsoring a free fish weekend this weekend. So you can get a free permit to catch fish this weekend only, in case anyone would like to take advantage of that. That's all I have. Any questions?
I don't have any. I do have a comment that we really appreciate the work you're doing with us on the permitting part of it. So it's a valuable service to us, and to help us keep everything going in a timely fashion. So we're treating the weeds when we should be treating them, and we're keeping the permits updated. So thank you for taking that on. That's a great thing.
Glad to be working together.
What's that?
Glad to be working together.
I know.
Absolutely.
Yep. I'm happy. It's a good thing. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Just to circle back, Ryan, we talked about the buoys.
Yes.
Sean and the crew have done a good job getting them out there. We're still missing a couple, which we
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get more on the north side. We were waiting for the lanes to be pulled up. They got pulled up
Right.
Saturday.
Yeah,
And it was just a busy weekend, but
sure.
should get those out soon.
Right. Yeah, so we'll be, Corzini will be marked again.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. And we have new ones coming in at the,
Yeah, they're back ordered currently, the ones that we purchased recently.
right.
So
You got those
they
from
get-
Marine USA?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Good. So, thank you. Thanks for getting out there. Please thank Sean for us.
Definitely.
If he's the one who actually did it and just didn't claim he did it.
He says he did.
He says he did. Probably send somebody out there.
Yeah, right.
All right. Okay. So, all right. An update from the Watershed Association with Barbara Kickham, and I believe we have a guest.
Yes.
So,
And I'm gonna pull up the presentation
Okay.
You wanna do that first, Barbara?
I just, sure.
Okay, or unless you wanna
I'm
talk.
just gonna introduce, I just
Okay.
wanted to introduce, this
Yeah.
is Kaylee Gale. She's, a, candidate for a Gold Star Award for. What's this Gold Award, sorry. That's a veteran, sorry. So she's working with us this summer and she has a presentation.
Okay, great. It's a gold award. The gold award, is that kind of like Eagle Scout?
Yeah, it's pretty much the Girl Scout equivalent of the Eagle Scout like rank. It's a 80-hour service project. It's supposed to benefit some part of the community and be sustainable beyond my involvement in it. And so, just wait a second.
Incorrect.
What's that?
I don't know what's happening. Let me just click the present button.
Invasive water chestnuts. Barb snuck that in there just
She did.
to keep everyone's mind on the same thing.
Okay. Can you guys, let me see? I guess it's not showing up on you guys' screen. Let's do it this way.
Computers.
Good. That is what we're gonna get today, apparently. Okay, just let me know.
So, as I said before, hi, I'm Kaylee Gale. I am a Girl Scout ambassador in Troop 30326 in Shrewsbury, and I'm also a rower for the Shrewsbury High School crew team on Lake Quinsigamond. And so I just wanted to come here to talk about my Gold Award project, which is about invasive water chestnuts on the lake. And so for my project, I'm trying to raise awareness about the invasive water chestnuts and just try and inform the wider community besides just lake residents about the issue. And yeah, through this project, I'm doing presentations and then also creating some informational pamphlets and just things like that, yeah. And also assisting with the weed pulling events, which I'll talk about later. And I'm sure most of you know, as you frequent the lake, but what are water chestnuts? They're pretty much an invasive aquatic plant that's native to Eurasia, and they were intentionally introduced to Massachusetts, actually, in 1897 by a gardener, and it's since spread to most of the bodies of water in the state. And they're found in fresh water and typically shallow water, but they can grow up in waters up to 15 feet. And they can also produce, each plant can produce up to 20 seeds a year, and then one seed can produce, or one like chestnut nut can produce up to 20 to 25 plants. And the nuts can also remain dormant for up to 12 years. So yearly efforts to get rid of them, it has to occur yearly just because they're dormant, so then they'll grow more even if you get rid of all of the ones that current year. And so, yeah, you can go. Yeah, pictures. And so here are some pictures. In the bottom, right? Yeah, that's the right, I think, that's one of the seed pods. And so that's actually dead and it won't germinate, but it's a good indicator that the plant is present in the lake. And I don't know if you all have seen them, but I have seen lots of them this year. And so the impacts of water chestnuts, pretty much they kill and displace native plants and fish species because they form large dense mats across the surface of the water, and they deplete oxygen levels and trap organic matter, which can form breeding grounds for mosquitoes. And they also have human impacts, as the mats can impede boaters and swimmers, and the barbs on the nuts can penetrate through shoes, which is a hazard to beachgoers and other lake users. And so what we all can do to help prevent this is, the best way to help prevent water chestnut spreading is hand pulling, and we will be having a few of those days this summer. And then if you're doing any form of boating, cleaning your boats before and after putting them in new bodies of water is the best way to help prevent the spread to other bodies of water, as plant material is very good at sticking to boats, not coming off. And then also cleaning shoes and clothes and pets before they enter new waterways. And so this summer we will have the Lake Quinsigamond Watershed Association will be holding 3 weed pulling days, and 2 of them will be at Gouch Park on June 8th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and July 20th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then at the Old Faith Road Cove and south of Sunset Beach on June 12th from 4 to 6 p.m. And so if any of you would be interested in joining us, that would be great. Or if you have any friends or family that would be interested, there is a sign-up form on the Watershed Association Facebook and also on the website. So yeah, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, all right. Nice job. Thank you very much. How'd girls' crew do today? This year?
We did fairly good this year. Our last race, we got bronze across all the varsity boats for the Mass Pubs Regatta, which is all the public schools in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
And then our novice boats, which are like the new rowers, they got silver and gold, I think. So we did pretty good this season. Yeah.
nice. Yeah, nice job.
Thank you.
All right, that was good. Rob, anything else besides that? How are T-shirt sales going? It's a beautiful shirt. Looks good on you. Review correspondence, which I didn't even look at here, so. I don't think I have any. And then the only other thing which I can't vote on, Luke, is your race
Here's
date.
the correspondence.
Oh, here it is, thank you.
There's a third one, too.
All right. We have a gentleman, Joshua Costello, who is a junior at Shrewsbury High School, and he's got a civic action project going. It's just, you have some competition, okay? So, but it's not about water chestnuts, but he wants to talk about things that pertain to pollution of Lake Quinsigamond, especially recent sewerage leaks into the lake. Well, I will contact him because we can talk about that at length. And also, okay, great stuff. Traffic back and forth. I believe this correspondence has to deal with the putting the buoy back on to in front of Sunset Beach, in front of the Stringer Dam, rather.
Right.
On the south side of the Stringer Dam. So, sorry, the north side of the Stringer Dam. So, that's
Make sure it's there.
that's there. The reason we're putting a, by the way, because this kind of talks about, because it lights up my dock when the boats go by. That's not why we put buoys out there. You got to put your dock into a location and set it up that, because it's Lake Quinsigamond, so expect that there's going to be boat traffic. And some of it, although we're not right where he is going to be intense boat traffic. So there's that. But the reason that I agreed to put a buoy there was because that is a really big blind spot. So when you're coming out of the Stringer Dam, there's a slip of land that goes out. So when you take, most people, what they do is they kind of come out of the Stringer Dam, they get about halfway down the kind of in front of where the big tower is at Sunset Beach, and then they just take off. Well, they can't see anything that's coming east on the northern shore of Edgemere there. So that's why I really wanted to put those buoys there, so they stayed no wake. So the buoy is going to be placed closer out to the end of the point there. That's where that's where we want to keep it there, so that no one's going anywhere until they get past that buoy and they can see, they can see east of them. So, just as an FYI, that's it, right?
That was the last one right there.
Provisional on the special use permit?
What's that?
You gonna do provisional on Regatta Point?
Oh, yeah. Just let me go through this list. This is the no wake buoy at the Route 20 bridge. So we have two no wake buoys, one in the north, one in the south of the bridge there. That is also an incredibly dangerous obstructed view going underneath that bridge. I've been passed by a boat, by a jet ski, actually, both times, while I was underneath the bridge, in my ski boat. So my ski boat's 92 inches wide, and that whole thing is probably maybe 15 feet. So both those jet skis went in between me and the boat. So there's riprap, which are big rocks on the side of it. If they had hit any of those or hit the boat, they probably would have done major damage to everyone in my boat, and probably fatal. And if they'd hit that rock, the two people around the jet ski the second time this happened would have both flown off and whacked their head on the bottom of the bridge because it's not that high. So those are important to have out there, and we're going to get them out as soon as we get the buoys on. The problem is, something sliced the buoys multiple times, so they kept sinking. And the neighbors in front of the bridge took that. They were diligent, and they took those things out every couple of weeks, emptied them out, put them back on there, and they would slowly sink down. So we got to the point where they just weren't. Before they'd last maybe 2 weeks, and then they'd go to the bottom. And then when they sink down, now they become a navigational hazard. So we're going to get new buoys there. I'm also going to propose that we put buoys at the Narrows at Witch Rock Island as well. Another that's kind of around the corner from the bridge, but that's another dangerous obstructed view, and there's a swimming area right there. So we're gonna try to make things as safe as possible throughout the entire lake. So the ones that are missing now, for anyone watching on TV right now, and on the big lake, which are the dangerous ones, there's about probably 50 feet off of Suntag Road. There's a major shallow spot there, so it presents more of a hazard to your boat. But if you hit that the right way, it will stop your boat, and so that could also eject you, unless you're wearing your boat seatbelt, which I wouldn't recommend. And then there's also a buoy missing at the entrance to Half Moon Cove. And the Half Moon Cove, again, is a shallow spot. That's why that's marked there. Also, though, it's no wake, because you're basically, 20 feet across right there? If that?
Yeah, about 20, 25 feet, but it's only 35 to 40 inches deep at best.
Depending on what time of year it is, sometimes it
Yeah.
gets really low. So, anyway, so that's where we where we are kind of opened up right now. So just to bear in mind, anyone's watching at home, to be careful of those areas. Stay either closer to the shore, going around the South Bay by Suntag Road, or stay out in the middle. So that's my advice. Don't go over there. We can do, I guess, a conditional approval, but it's kind of,
However you want to do it.
I can do that, Luke, but it's not really going to be that meaningful. Huh?
Doesn't matter to us.
We'll get it done. Hopefully we'll have a quorum next time. We'll get it done there. I was caught by surprise a little bit about tonight, because usually they'll contact me and say for whatever reason they can't show up. So, all right. That being said, set the date of the next meeting. What do we have, Madam Secretary?
Next meeting will be Wednesday, June 26th, 7 PM here.
7 p.m. here?
Yep, here in the selectmen's room in the town hall.
Select Board.
Select board meeting, sorry.
Okay. So, there's that. I guess,
Make a motion, Mr. Chair, that we adjourn?
Second.
okay, you can't really vote on it, but we're adjourned.
Thanks.